Hey guys, hope you guys are having an amazing day. Your boy is back with another YouTube video, and today, instead of the usual Reddit, we are going to be diving onto a forum, one that we've done in the past before, incel.is. We've did this one time, and I know you guys have been asking for it, but I've had to tread really lightly with the whole demonetization battle, so I couldn't really dive into this forum. However, in the last Incel Tiers video, while on the Patreon, I discovered that if I pre-select the stories and just blur many parts and bits, I might be able to actually just post, as long as I tread really lightly on YouTube in regards to these. I pre-selected some stories for you guys. It's a little bit more PG-13. I'm still gonna have to blur some bits, of course. But for those of you that don't know, incel.is is a forum where a lot of incels discuss amongst themselves, and some things can be very normal. However, a lot of the ones that are popular are very, very dark and vile. And I want to reiterate before we get into this that not all incels are bad people. I'm not saying that by any means. However, some of the posts that we read from Incel Tiers and incel.is can be very, very vile. And I feel like it's a good thing to discuss and bring to light because some of it is very interesting. So saddle up for that. Get ready. And for those of you that are new to my channel, we do videos like this every single day, so make sure you guys stay tuned if you enjoy this video by hitting the subscribe and the notification bell so you guys are up to date with every single upload. And for those of you that don't know, we are going to be doing a rated R, unblurred, extended video on the Patreon. It's going to be the first link in the description box down below for those of you that want to support the channel. And then also hit the like and comment section down below because it helps out the algorithm plenty, and I love engaging with your guys' content. All right, now let's get into it. Welcome to incel.is. Oh man, second time we ever done it on the channel, and I am nervous because I have to be very, very, very careful. I'm gonna start with blurring this. The title of this one says, "Do we really have anything to lose?" I'm gonna move this over because his name cannot be on YouTube. For sure can't. And then I can now unblur. Okay. So this is one of the more recent, March 10th. This person posted on the forum, "Is it justified for any of us to truly fear jail or prison and the police in any circumstance? Yes, you should fear prison and police." But okay, this life was over the second we were born. Oh my God. It's not to say just go commit crimes, but I mean, I more so mean, should we really be intimidated by police presence and people's threats? It shouldn't matter what we do because we already lost at birth. I will never have a life I wanted. I will never be 6'5", white, high IQ, wealthy, family background, blue eyes, blonde, etc. Also, like, I feel like not a lot of women fawn over blonde guys, or not as much as people think. I think, at least in my experience. The tall thing, yeah, but I don't know about the blonde. All right. I'll never know what it's like to have 99% of women fawn over me, and a life where I don't get that simply isn't worth one living with, when other guys get to have that while I rot daily with nothing. It could get worse, but it will never get ideal. Nothing can ever change this. I'll never snuggle with a girl in my dreams in a cozy bedroom watching movies and shows. You cannot buy a woman's love, and humans are not meant to live alone like this. We need compassion and acceptance from other human beings to truly be happy. Is this the nature of our species? Okay, I want to first tackle, this is dark, and not dark, sorry. It's sad. Like, not like I'm looking down upon this person. Like, it's sad to see that there are people with this mentality, because at the end of the day, anyone thinking about like this type of subject, regardless of the reasoning, where they're like, oh, what's the point, right? And they're starting to have an existential thought on the purpose of life and stuff like that. It is sad. And I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I've definitely had periods in my life where I've thought about like, what's the point of all this? I wouldn't say I've gotten ever this low, and it wasn't over this reasoning, but I understand it is a dark place to be when you start contemplating things like that. Now, what I want to say to this guy is, first off, if we take it verbatim and he says 99% of women fawn over me, 1% of women is a lot of people still. I don't think people realize how many women there are on this earth. So there are So in 2023, there were roughly 4 billion women in the world. Now let's break that down. So here I have 4 billion, right? And we're gonna see what 1% is. 1%, you would still, I can't believe I didn't know this, but so you're still looking at, what is that? So there's 40 million people that could be attracted to you. But yeah, man, I think what people have to understand is the whole comparison thing, and like you're comparing yourself to other people all the time. That puts you in a mindset where you are down bad, like, and you are like, oh my God, I'll never be, because like I get it, bro. I'm not a 6'5" white guy with high IQ, wealthy family background, blue dude. We grew up with nothing. You think my eyes are blue? You think I'm blonde? Hell no, and all that stuff. But it's the day that you realize that you start appreciating life for what it is, and then also truly just be yourself. I know that's like so cliche. Like once you kind of just appreciate who you are, like you gotta love yourself, bro. Like what did Justin Bieber say? You gotta love yourself, Because when it all starts from there. And I know it's hard because you are on social media, you're comparing yourself, you're thinking, oh my God, all these girls like this guy, all these girls. But you gotta start realizing, dude, not all women are like that. And also whatever you see online isn't what is actually IRL, Yeah, I go online and I see these guys that are fucking supermodels pulling. Yeah, obviously. But at the same time, when you go out and you start realizing that if you even talk to a girl in a polite way, you're already ahead of the game by like light years ahead most guys. All right, so that's a step. And I watched this podcast recently by, it was Greg Doucette, this fitness influencer. He was in the Iced Coffee Hour podcast, and he's a 5'6" guy, and he talks about like this advice that he'd like to give to people who are not experienced with women and stuff. And you got to think about it kind of like working out. And I really like how he said it. When you work out, in order to get stronger, you progressively overload. So you slowly add reps, you slowly add weight and stuff. So to get girls, you kind of have to start from bare minimum. You got to start with, hey, can you talk to a girl at all? Just as a friend, just someone that you're not even attracted to, just talk to them, right? Okay, now you're comfortable with that. Let's take it a step up, and then gradually go. You can't just go straight up and talk to a 10. Like it's going to be nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking for me. But yeah, and then I'm going to read to you guys, let me just blur it, some of the comments under it because it is very dark. Someone said, I enjoy playing video games and enjoying himself. If you guys get my drift. You should fear. Okay, I want to dabble back into the whole fearing prison and jail thing, because yes, you should fear that. What the fuck? Like, if you go to jail and prison for the rest of your life, that sucks. So yeah, and like it's kind of scary to see that some people have this mentality. They're like totally just down for it all. I mean, he did admit, like, he's not saying just go straight up and just commit crimes or anything, but still, dark world. All right, we got another one here. Let me make sure that I can put it. Okay, I think we are good. Let me go up a little bit more. All right, here we go. All right, this one, the title of the incel.is post says, if I was a man, I would probably be an incel. And it's referring to someone's post on subreddit. And someone posted on 2X chromosomes, and the title was, if I was a man, I would probably be an incel. Okay, so the original OOP says, okay, this is not a general statement, but just my experience. Like, I have no real best friends, TB. The ones I do hang out with are always busy. They are getting married, or one of them is having a kid, and I've never really had a real relationship. By the way, OOP is a girl. Well, I did try to date someone for 3 months, but I got scared of how much he said he loved me. Ooh, the love bomb. Like, he told me he wants to make me his wife. Oh, dude, don't say that. From 3 months in, that's crazy. I mean, we knew each other for 2 years and dated for 3 months. I just didn't feel right. I never even kissed anyone until a few days ago. It wasn't a kiss out of love. I just did it because I was curious. I didn't want to be 26 and have never kissed. I've never, been intimate with anyone. I am socially awkward, and I have never been approached by a guy. I am usually people's last choice. People always assume since I am quote unquote pretty, I would have guys around me all the time. but I do not. I barely leave the house. I sit on my computer, avoid interacting with the world. People exhaust me. No offense to them. I mean, if I was a guy, I would be an incel. Well, technically, wouldn't this person be an incel? It's just a girl version of it, or a female version. And then she continues, I am a female incel. Yeah, exactly. A loser. I wish I was different, though. I wish I was someone. Wait, I wish I was someone. I wish I was like those people who are not awkward, people who socialize easily and become party of life, or life of the party. I was desirable too. Oh, I wish I was desirable too. That's sad. And you know what? It's sad because you see that it's not just a guy or girl thing. It can happen to both people. Like, yeah, it sucks because like being socially awkward is like such the first step into talking to someone, right? Because you would want to talk to them. And you know, it's hard when you do have this fear and stuff. And you know, I can sit here and tell you guys, oh, but like just start talking to people. But to them, or to people who have any form of like genuine like fear, like a phobia almost, like it's intense and it's tough. I can only imagine. And you know, it seems like this girl, or it says that she's pretty and stuff too. So this is a good example that there are women that are also battling these things as well. It's much less likely, but it does happen. And my advice, I mean, I'm a dumb guy, so who knows? But my advice to her, it would be the same to these guys. Like, you have to just slowly work your way and just trust the process. Don't completely give up, and also really love yourself, because everything stems from that. If you can love yourself, look in the mirror and be like, hell yeah, right? Which is hard. It's not easy. It took me it took me 25 plus years in order to really, really love myself, right? And when you get to that point, it's easier to socialize. It's easier to be confident, and because then you can go out, talk to somebody, and if they don't like you, you know that you like you. But yeah, so, and you know what's crazy? I'm going to read the comments on this post. People on incel.is that are mostly guys are just straight up talking crap about this girl. Like, one of them says, world's smallest violin intensifies. I can't show the screen because a lot of their names are very vile. Someone said, well, I did try to date someone for 3 months, but I got scared of how much he said he loved me. He told me he wants to make his wife. And he says, JFL, truest femcel. I mean, I would get scared of that too. Someone said 99% of women are total effing losers as a man. What? 99% of men would be a catch prize as a woman. She is never special. I don't know, dude. I've met a lot of women that are not cool. I've met a lot of guys that are not cool too. I've met a lot of women that are cool and a lot of guys that are cool. I don't think it's so much a basis of that. Oh my God. Some people, I can't even show you guys this. Someone commented saying she dated someone for 2.5 years and then got turned off when he wanted to marry her. Well, no, he knew him for 2 years and then dated for half. And then this guy says she's in effing, I can't say these words. And then he hopes that some vile things happens to her. What the fuck is wrong with people? She literally is empathizing with you guys. She's saying she is one of you guys. And they just start attacking just because she's a woman. It's like these incels on here just hate women for being women. And it's like, brother, if you do, then just go hang out with some dudes. It's okay if you're gay, bro. All right. I am going to censor this one because there's a lot of F-bombs. The title of this one says, why do normal people even care about incels? Because you guys are people. What do you mean? I care about everyone. Like, I mean, to at least a bare minimum. I'm not like I super care about everybody, but like I care about you guys because you guys are also people. Anyways, let's continue. So the guy who posts says, they could live their entire lives without wasting a single thought on us, and absolutely nothing would change. Why do women even care about men who will never interact with, who they will never interact with? Incels aren't dangerous. We're just terribly ugly people who got unlucky in the genetic distribution. That's it. Why the F don't these, I'm not saying that, normies leave us alone? F, go F each other. Go enjoy your lives and your privileges. Let us rot in peace. Okay, so I think what he's referring to is like people who are talking about incel culture, like whether it's YouTubers like me or just people on incel tiers and so forth and stuff. So I think the reasoning behind why I post and why some incel tiers post is some of the stuff that is said on this is so insane. I mean, we see it all the time in our incel tiers video, right? That I want to not, well, one, it's entertaining for sure. And then two, it's also like, I feel like if you guys are putting this out to the public, there is a danger and that a kid could be reading this stuff and actually go along with it and stuff. And then it could develop this like world of these subgroup of guys that just absolutely hate a whole large portion of people on earth. And that's not a good mindset. So like, I think there's a part of this that's like an awareness thing. We're talking about it because we hope you guys get out of this situation, but we also, I don't know, at least me, I intend for people to understand like this is not how you should be, and there is hope. Like dude, I'm a 5'4" guy. Like, you think no, bro, like for most of my life, I was not attractive at all. Like bro, if y'all could dig up my middle school pictures and high school pictures, you guys would understand. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, people are posting stuff like this because there's a shock factor, there's an entertainment factor. But me personally, that is definitely a reason. But I want to add on to that, like, I want people who are in these positions to understand that there is hope. Like, you gotta love yourself. I'm gonna keep repeating. Someone in the comments said they need a new punching bag. And I'm like, dude, like, how do you not understand that it's not, I mean, some people might be punching down on you guys, but me personally, I'm not. I'm trying not to, at least. You just got to understand, how do you expect a large portion of people in the world to like you if you don't like them? Like, come on, bare minimums. All right, I definitely can't read this one. It says, or I can't show it. The title says, if you dislike women and society, you are superior. Which is, it's like so inaccurate. What do you mean? If you dislike any group on earth because of who they are, not because of like personality, or they haven't given you a reason to dislike them, you just dislike them purely because they exist at being whatever, you are a vile human being. That's just the way it is. And like, I'm just saying that straight. I mean, isn't that how like racism and like all that stuff, like, I've had my fair share of dealing with it. I mean, not as much as I'm sure other people, but like, if I've had people who just genuinely won't like me because I'm Asian or some shit, right? But that was usually when I was younger. Nowadays, it's a lot better. But yeah, and like, how are they superior? That doesn't make any sense. But I digress. So this guy, stupid clown, says the inferior accept their role. They accept being discarded. What? They continue fishing for sympathy in between beatings. Okay. The superior never accept I'm not saying that. They hate and they desire justice. If you are a hateful incel, you are superior. No, you're not. Be glad you aren't some I'm not saying that. Worshipping e-girls. First off, I want to establish there are incels that do that. Worship e-girls and stuff. I'm trying to dissect this. So I think this is like him trying to not cope, but maybe, I don't know. They're trying to say that they're superior for disliking a group of people, which is literally like contradictory, because I feel like in life you're superior if you're able to love everybody. Yeah. I don't know. This is such like brain rot to read some of these. Wow. He said, and I can't show this. He says, I would cut my D off if it meant humanity was wiped out by a meteorite. Wow, that's actually really sad. What the F? Someone said high IQ trait, disliking women. That's crazy. Like, do they not understand like how many people are women on this earth, and then how important they are too? I gotta show you guys this one. I can show you this part. The title says Sabrina Carpenter is a good example of how inferior genetics are celebrated in women. All right, and then I'm gonna blur it. He said, this still stupid clown says I can't say that. This derogatory term, and he mixed the term for a short person that's derogatory, and then also a derogatory term for women. And he mixed the two. And he said, this blank is 4'9". Oh, is Sabrina Carpenter 4'9"? That's wild. That is so short. That's shorter than my parents. Literal midget and worshipped by, can't say that, as a goddess. All her videos consist of her being praised by Chad, even having intimacy with Chad or romanticizing Chads. And predictably, the most femoids? I don't know how to say that. She enjoys trashing ugly men too. Really? Let's see what he posted. So he has a picture here. It says, Sabrina Carpenter reposts a fan's video when I had to convince myself he was attractive, but he ended up breaking up with me. That's kind of funny. But that happens because in both sides, you get in relationships where you think, you start convincing yourself that they're attractive, but then after the relationship ends, you start realizing, oh, they sucked. That's happened to me before. And so the guy continues after that post and says, absolutely disgusting midge. Hopefully she doesn't have children. All female midge should be what? No. What? Good example of how inferior genetics are celebrated in women. What dignifies inferior genetics? Like being short? Because then I am super inferior. It's crazy that they think, like, people think like this. That's insane. Now let's break down what they're trying to say. They're saying, like, if a girl's short, it can be praised, and if a guy's short, it can be looked down upon. That, yeah, I can understand that mentality for sure. Like, short women can sometimes even be fetish sized. Like, some people like love that. I'm like, that's so weird. And it's just like these things are so arbitrary, or like, I don't know, so shallow to like someone just based off of that. But I get it. At the end of the day, everybody has preferences. Totally understand. I didn't even know Sabrina Carpenter was that short. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. That's a weird one, because I understand where he's coming from like the mentality that like women do, you know, have leeway when they're short and stuff. But I definitely don't agree that you shouldn't have children with them and stuff. Like, that's crazy, bro. What? Someone said, you'd think she'd be a 10 facially to 10. Wow. So now they're just, of course, attacking her appearance. She's beautiful too. That's crazy that they're just saying shit like that. All right. Whatever. This one says, women can't lose in life. And it's referring to Sophia Girard, 24, becomes Victoria's Secret's first model with Down syndrome. The Puerto Rican model celebrated the historic milestone on social media and raved that there are no limits. That is wild. Chat, you know what? How do you guys feel about that? I don't know how I feel about that. Like, Victoria's Secret having a model that has that, because, like, yes, I 100% think that people who have anything, right, should be celebrated in any way. But with Victoria's Secret, it's like almost like sexualization, you know, of it. And then I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little weird. I don't know. I feel like it's not my place to say anything. I feel like it's weird to think that there are people out there buying these Victoria's Secret, or like men buying these Victoria's Secret things just to, you know, get aroused by something like that. I don't know. And oh my God, I can't even read these comments. Jesus, this is why it's so tough to do these on YouTube. I thought this was going to be PG-13, but some of the comments are just saying like crazy things that they want to do to this person who, yeah, I'm not going to read that. All right, this one we can read. It says, I wish I was normal. Someone writes this kind of like almost like a poem. It says, I wish I was normal. I wish I experienced teen love. I wish I had a normal teenage years. I wish I didn't rot in my room after school. I wish I had fun memories to look back on. I wish I went to a sleepover. I wish I stayed up all night just talking to a girl. I wish I was invited to a party. I wish I wasn't a turbo manlet. What? Turbo manlet's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's mean. I wish I wasn't a turbo manlet that no one respected. I wish I went on a road trip with my friends. I wish I was something. That's sad. Sad to think about, because some of those things aren't even regarding women. It's just like actual stuff that goes on. And, you know, for people who don't have friends or stuff like that sucks. It's hard for me to put myself in a position where I can say like, oh, just work on yourself and stuff. Because at that point, it's like, it goes a little bit deeper. But I hope that these people realize there are other people in this world that probably share the same thoughts and interests as them. It is hard to put yourself out there when you haven't done it before, but that would have to be the first step. I mean, I remember when I was young, right? Like, a lot of my friends were from my family's friends. So they're kids, right? But there was periods where I didn't really like when my first best friend moved away, he moved to Mexico. I didn't have a best friend for a while. I just was like, it felt weird. And I would go on like, what was it, Chat Roulette and like, what's the other one, Omegle and stuff, and just make friends there, like social media friends. And you're like, oh, what's your kick? And it was like, I don't know. I feel like with our current era of phones and stuff, it's easy to not be alone, but it's also easy to feel lonely. Like it's easy to have people at access. Like he's posting on a forum. There's other people that are going to post right away, right? But being lonely is also even more prevalent now. I don't know. This one's tough, and I empathize for him. I actually do. So, I mean, this is proof. I mean, there's some people out there that are just going through it, and that sucks. Like I also wish this guy had some experience, but I also want to let him know, like, you know, life is a vast and wild adventure that, you know, things can get better, and hopefully it will. A lot of people on this one are posting some like pretty sad stuff. They're saying like, I wish I was different. Something different happened. If only short-lived, but it doesn't. Nothing ever happens. Oh, that part's not true. Life can change very fast. It's environment. There's so many factors, you know. And you know, this one person brings up something important. Someone added on to that. I wish I had family. I wish I had more free money without doing any work. And that's the thing. We all sit here wishing we have what we don't have. You could be the richest guy in the world, and there's still wants, right? But what I think is the fun in life, based off of the books that I enjoy reading and stuff, The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus, my favorite book, it establishes that, yeah, everybody's going to want all these things. But at the end of the day, life is so vast. It's not about getting these things. It's about the journey of trying to get these things. It's about the process. You got to enjoy it, or else it's not fun. It's not fun. That's just what I think personally, but everybody's going to have different purposes in life. Yeah, so that one was more, how do I say it? Insightful? Interesting. Yeah. Yo, guys, this one is crazy. The title of this one says, I wish Trump was Hitler. What? What are these guys on? This dude said, I wish. Why? Why do you wish that? Ever? What the fuck? Do you realize, like, we're all get exterminated? What? This one says, incel disgust. For real, bro. What the hell? Okay, so this one is a wild title. It says, men are truly a joke of a gender, which I don't believe at all. There will never be a male uprising. There will never be a male uprising. What do you mean? Like half of the uprisings in the world were by men? No, more than like 90%. I'm going to say 97% of the uprisings in the planet Earth was done by men to start. What is this guy on? So this, I'm going to blur it just in case. So he says they will attack you physically for being attracted to biological adult women. Wait, what? They will attack you for being attracted to adult women? Biologically adult women? What are you talking about? Simps will attack you if a woman hits you. Wait, Simps will attack you if a woman hits you, then you return the favor. Ma, you can't lay hands on women. So he's complaining about equality? I'm confused. I mean, you shouldn't lay hands on anyone in general. That's what? Okay. The same men that call you a broke bum will pay for a woman to sit at home and do nothing but stare in a mirror and watch TV all day. That one statement, I kind of do slightly agree with to an extent, because there are these like alpha guys on YouTube. I want to do a video documentary or, essay on it at some point, but there's these alpha males that will be like, you're broke, you're the worst, blah, 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 blah. And then they do end up simping for like models or escorts and stuff like that too. So like 100%, that part I kind of agree with, but let's see what else he says. Men spend money on women they don't even know, yet put their own brothers and sons down. Yeah. Okay. So you know what? He's going on this like rant about the contradictions of human nature. And I do agree with some of these, because like men do spend money on women they don't even know, like the OFs and all that stuff. Yeah, 100%. I do agree with that. Not all men though. So I don't want to say like this is like men are truly a joke of a gender. I don't think that that's true at all. I think there's definitely some silly ass people in all groups. And he continues to says, men hate other men within the same race, let alone ones of a different race. Muh, they make white women feel unsafe. Yeah, no, he's right about that. I mean, but it's also women too. I think he can just change this all to women, or I said women, to people. People spend money on people they don't even know. Or you could put people hate on people within the same race. I think it's not exclusive to just men. All right, so continuing, he says, incels are one of the worst men to talk to. They will immediately dump you for any attention from a woman. I mean, now you're starting to realize that's the goofiness of this, man. This culture is so just silly. I don't even know why I bother with this form when only money and health matters. I don't agree with that. This form doesn't make this form doesn't make anything in my life better. You guys are also against roids. Talk crap in a bucket. No one can do roids. Okay, so he's saying there's a ton of contradictions, and he's starting to realize the contradictions that even fall within this subreddit this forum as well. And I do agree with a lot of what he's saying, although it can be applied to people in general. I wouldn't just say men, but I think he's fed up with this forum, and I get it. I'm fed up with it too. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, good for him for starting to realize like there's just contradictions in everything that everybody says, you know? I actually, you know what? I want to go back to that one. I want to read the comments. I want to see what other people responded. Someone said, letting women work in this modern economy has turned out very well for men. All white collar jobs for women and all blue collar and back breaking jobs for men. Not what? That's not true at all. I have seen some very blue collar women, and I have seen some extremely white collar men. Actually, most CEOs in offices are still dudes. Not to mention, okay, I'm not reading that. Agreed with most of what you said outside of the roids. Roids don't make you attractive to women. Roids are stupid. I agree with that. It can make you attractive, but it's not worth the risk of like most if not all steroids has so many negative effects. I mean, I'm not a fitness channel, but you guys can literally look into it. I mean, trends, SARM, all of that. It's so bad for you. True, men are simps, but history suggests that the biases aren't innate. There is hope. The current generation are the first living generation to be turning against both feminism and traditionalism, both of which favor females. Someone says, agree with everything except... So most people are agreeing. Interesting. So he said, agreeing with everything except for what you said about incels dumping you. Sure, it has happened, but in my experience, incels are much less likely to do that because you know it would never work out anyways, while a normie will always throw you under the bus for a woman. No, not true at all. My friends have picked each other over women many times. Now, has there been situations where they have picked a girl? 100%. But that applies to both. All right, let's read one more good one. And also, I want to first apologize. My voice is like dying. I've got a Spectrum technician fixing my thing. There's a lot going on. And on top of this all, I have to be so careful with what we're reading. So apologies in advance if this video isn't what you guys expected, but I'm doing my best. I'm dying right now. Oh, this is an interesting discussion one. Someone said, do Chads ever get bullied? Have you ever seen it happen? Because I haven't. Even if they're short or neurodivergent, they don't ever seem to get bullied, even though these two traits are massive risk factors for being victims of bullies. That's false. I mean, I'm sure this person hasn't seen it. I have seen... Well, first off, how do you define a Chad? What is a Chad? Let's look at the standard definition of a Chad. A Chad, no, slang term, blah, blah, blah. Young, upper class, urban males. Okay, we'll use their terminology, but also like, you know, tall guy who is a handsome guy. Do they get bullied? Yeah, 100%. Not in the same form that you might think of getting bullied, but I mean, aren't you guys bullying them by talking about them all the time online anyways? Like, isn't that a form of bullying too? I don't know. Stop spreading hate, guys. Someone said no unless obese. What? No unless he's stupid. All right, I want to read one more because that didn't satiate me. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, I got to keep this one blurred, guys. I apologize again, but this is an interesting one. It says, the title says, well, under the category unaliving fuel, my Chad little brother lost his V card to my classmate. Guy reads a story. Hello, I'm new to this forum and this is my first post, and I recently told an online friend of my story and he suggested I post it on here. Interesting. Anyways, my brother is 2 years younger than me and he got all the good genes. He got my 6 feet father's height genes and all around good genetics from both my father and mother's side, while I got the worst mix and ended up with my short mother's genes at 5'7". 5'7" is tall to me. What the hell? Not gonna lie, I honestly wonder if I was adopted sometimes, but that's besides the point. So a few years back, when both of us were in high school, I had a woman, whenever I say woman, by the way, they are never saying woman. They are saying the derogatory term for it. A classmate whom I was on somewhat good terms with. So he had a classmate that he was somewhat cool with, right? That's a girl. Wouldn't say we were friends, but she was my mom's friend's daughter. So that was probably why she was really nice to me. We were often paired together for schoolwork and whatnot. And she sat beside me in some of the classes. Nearing the end of the school year, when I was 16 and my brother was 14, dang, they were young. They started dating. Wait, your 14-year-old brother dated a 16-year-old girl? That's crazy. Because when you're in high school, that's like a big step up. That's wild. They started dating and it was only about a month or two, but that was enough time to completely destroy me. Many brutal events happened to me during this time. For example, me and my brother shared a room. I think I can unblur some of this. So for example, me and my brother shared a room at that point, and they kicked me out of their, never mind, I'm going to blur it again, to do stuff. They were probably the most brutal event. That was probably the most brutal event that has ever happened to me, honestly. Dude, you are a bad brother. Like, what? You didn't want to leave so that they could have an amazing, time. You should be proud of your brother. What? Or not proud, but you should be yeah, actually you should be. What the hell? All right, at another point, they made me come get a drink with them at her house. And guess what? After one glass of wine, damn, they were 14 doing that? Okay. After one glass of wine, they again kicked me out and told me that they wanted some alone time. So I went home and my mom smelled it on me and she was so effing mad at me, was angry at me for days and threatened to unenroll me from school since I was in private school and forced me to get a menial job, etc., etc. One time when we were at school, it was a break time and I overheard her telling him something along the lines of, "Ew, I ate your kids last night." That's what? Why would she? That's gross. That's all I could remember for now, but holy S, I was never the same since it happened. Most brutal month of my life. Okay, first off, you shouldn't be sad about your brother pulling. That's weird. I just don't understand, dude. You should be happy for your brother. And then also I don't know. It's this mentality that if I'm not winning, no one can. I hate that. Anyways, I'm going to end it here because, yeah, I've also been filming for 50 minutes, guys. It's been a long ride. I'm slightly under the weather too. I can't tell if I have I gotta censor that. I can't tell if I have the vid, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get my life together. But anyways, if you're a Patreon member, we're gonna get into some really dark stuff. So I'll see you guys there. And yeah, see you guys in tomorrow's video. By the way, tomorrow is gonna be Oh No Consequences. We had such a fun time doing that last time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.